This is Philosophy versus Improv, where two sages try to teach each other a thing or two, and maybe you, the audience, get something out of it as well. Welcome to the Season 5 premiere of the show. I'm Mark Linsenmeyer, your philosophy trainer today.
And I am Mary Hynes. Welcome to the premiere, and I am your improvisational guru.
Well, that's a new thing. You were a guest last time. What's going on?
Well, this guy was like, "Hey, do you want to dabble in co-hostery with me?" And I was like, "I would love to dabble." His name's actually Mark.
That is a co-hostery. I don't know how I feel about that word.
No? Well, what feelings does it make you feel?
It feels like we should even just do a scene right now about the co-hostery summit. The
Welcome.
co-hostery.
Yes, welcome. This is our thank you so much to our opening stand-up comic, Steve Wintermeyer. Everyone give it up for Steve.
Yay.
Oh, yes, thank you. Yes, I know we'll have lunch soon. Everyone doesn't seem very enthusiastic, but please help yourself to some of the complimentary donut holes and emergency sugar revive granola bars. So yes, at the co-hostery summit, we are here today, myself and my colleague, to share with you
Your
the
co-host?
inner.
Am I a co-host at the because we're all co-hosts at the co-hostery summit.
Yes, yes, everyone knows you're the co-host, darling. You just took the stage.
Please proceed.
Yes, of course. Yes, of course. So this is actually a great demonstration of what it means to
You said that word wrong. That's what co-hosts do. They correct when you say a word wrong, right?
co-host. Yes. Yes,
Okay. Please proceed. Please proceed.
that's exactly what it means.
Many people throughout throughout the eras have been co-hosts, but they have never gotten together in a co-hostery summit. There are many people. Sometimes you might think that they don't need a co-host, that you could just do it yourself, but you can't. You need a co-host to stand next to you, probably a relative, someone who out of sympathy you're letting on the stage, and then they really help. They like humanize the whole thing.
Precisely. I have nothing to add. That was absolutely brilliant. You're doing a very good job. You're a fantastic co-host. Now, everyone, partner up with the person to your left. And so, what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to lean in, and you're going to want to touch brains in some way. Now, not actually the mushy gushy part, but just the external epidermis. So, go ahead, lean in, connect brains. Everyone's doing great.
But you're to my right. Am I supposed to do it too, or just the people in the audience?
Oh, what?
We should demonstrate.
We should demonstrate. Here,
Let me
hold on. Let's
move.
switch.
I
Wait,
gotta
let's
move to
switch places.
your
Let's
okay.
do
Okay.
see do.
Well, but now I'm on your mic. Okay, so I gotta change the height of the mic. Okay. All
Right.
right. All right.
Great. Great. So now see how we're doing it? Yes, yes, everyone's doing great. And now on the count of three, you're going to say the first word that comes to mind. One, two, three.
Co-host.
Bullshit. Oh,
Oh,
whoops.
are,
Uh,
were we supposed to have the same word because we're touching brains?
that was the goal. I thought
Maybe.
you wrote this part of the curriculum. What?
Oh, you're right. I. Okay. Yes. Bullshit. Was that what what I wrote?
Well, actually, that's something that came out of my brain. And friends, sometimes when you're co-hosting, things come up that you don't plan on.
I
And then
think maybe you don't believe in this. I maybe.
well,
I,
I hate to have this moment in the spotlight, but I think it's a bunch of bullshit to share. Not to share what I'm saying, but to share in the limelight.
I mean, I paid for a significant portion of this, so I think I've earned the spot on the stage. I mean, you're kind of just, I mean, the talent, but you know, you got to the business end has to be heard too. If we don't have the business end represented, they're gonna just eat all of the hors d'oeuvres. They're gonna waste the time. They're gonna do all the things that are not fiscally responsible.
You're so right. And nobody can read an advertisement like you can. So maybe we can share the bullshit. That way, you don't have all of the shit on your shoe. You share the shoe shit with the person next to you. So thank you for sharing in the shit with me, Mark. I forgot what
Thank
name
you,
I gave you.
Mary.
I
I don't know
forget.
if we had names.
I don't think we
I think
did we?
no. It was just a that is an initial improv challenge, is remembering your own name and
Right.
the
And
other
it's
people.
I love the visual image. Like I could see it was definitely a discount ballroom at a Ramada. And I could see like there's very like minimal lighting. And like the lights are there, but like only some of them work. And I like the about the microphone, like that it's like super super high. So I love being able to see that spatial relationship. That's fun.
And this raises a philosophical issue, which
Mm.
is actually I was just discussing on the partially examined life. Sometimes, not always, but sometimes these discussions, just because it's what I've been reading. So it was some French feminism, and we're talking about
Mm.
subjective.
Frenchianism.
For, for, I mean, you could shorten things that way, I suppose. But I think the feminists would prefer to have the femme not elided. That's the problem with traditional philosophy
Mm.
is they just all the French philosophers is just Frenchianism, and they
Yeah.
they they leave out the femme. That has to you have to recognize the femme. And so this was an author named Lucy Irigaray, and she was talking about the desubjectivization of women.
Oh,
Does this sound familiar?
I enjoy this topic. Do go on.
I mean, this is a wonder, because before, as you were commenting when we were offline, this show had a lot of just masculine energy. I mean,
Yeah,
it
and there's
was
nothing
like,
wrong with it. It's just more of like the balance of all the different gender expressions, around the whole
yeah,
wheel.
yeah, that when you're inviting audience members, for instance, to live through your words, you're inviting
Engage
them
and
to,
connect. Yeah,
yes, then it's nice to have not just have women have to sort of fit into spaces created by men. That if you
sure.
have a woman who is one of the things that you're trying to relate to.
Yeah. Well, I love that. And to yes and I am non-binary. So I feel like I'm bonus plus
Hmm.
because I watched a on Disney Plus a Doctor Who it's a 5-part series. It's like a bonus special. And so I watched episode 1 of it and please forgive me Doctor Who fans. I'm new to the lore but I've always enjoyed it. So I'm forgetting her name, but the woman who like her the woman there who shares the doctor
In the current
and
iteration, or is
in the
this a
current
different?
iteration, no, not the current iteration. This is the last iteration. Anyway, so the point being, aside semantics aside, her daughter is non-binary, and like throughout the episode, like I didn't even think about it. I was just like watching, like, look at this beautiful human. Like, what if I, and they're mentioning all these different things about it, and I'm like not understanding the through line. And I only got it at the end of the episode. There's this, I won't, there's like this brain transference. There's this thing that happens where the mom remembers who she is and she shares the burden of this like mind thing that she got that like made her forget with her daughter. And so the doctor and her go like binary, binary. And at the same time, in another place, her daughter goes non binary. And then she says, I am not binary. I am non binary. I am more. And then I got it and I started crying. I was like, that is so beautiful.
This is familiar. This was a throwback companion who was a previous companion, right? And
Yes.
then it was just on a special. It was
Yeah.
Donna
Donna, thank
Noble.
you.
There you
Donna
go.
Noble. And I feel like such a shit because like, oh my gosh, like I love her character so much. Thank you. Yeah. Donna Noble. I was my and I'm sure anyone who's listening to this is like yelling, Donna Noble, you idiot.
So what do we think though? Uh, insofar as other people, I mean, of course, it's nice to have representation. It's nice to feel connected to the things that you're watching, the
And
things,
yeah, and be
you
like
know.
seen in the stuff that you're
Yeah,
imbibing
and
and the
it's
storytelling.
not restricted to gender. It could be about sexuality, it could be about race, it could be about just background. Like I don't see,
Disabilities,
I'm from the
abilities.
South, and I don't see enough Southerners. I don't, they all these city folk. See, I'm equating Southern with rural, which is not. There are cities down there. Have
And
you
there's
been
so
there? There's
many.
cities.
Yeah, are there?
I mean, I hear they're little blue dots. I think
Yeah.
when you walk in, the whole place is glowing blue. That's what I
Wow.
hear. That's just a red landscape. But there's still a division
Mm-hmm.
between you and anybody, right? So
Sure.
if you're listening to a podcast, of course you're listening to other people. So it doesn't seem like you're being subjectivized. I don't know. I don't think that Arigorai had in clearly in mind listening to podcasts. She was more, I think, concerned with when somebody's sitting down to like describe the whole nature of the universe as they do in philosophy.
As one
Um,
does, yeah.
then it would be nice if some of those people were women because maybe the things that men come up with might have something in common just because they're men.
Sure.
And the theories were weird in terms of like, well, what is it about male aggression or sexual patterns or whatever that would make their description of the cosmology particularly like I'm not I don't even want to explore. I'm not defending. And in
Yeah.
fact, the thing we read was very hand wavy about the whole thing. But the idea that you know isn't the distance between you as spectator and you as and the person that you're reading, the person you're listening to, already pretty insurmountable,
Mm.
right? There are different people.
Oh,
So
I
that
see where you're going with
so
this,
that
but
yeah,
keep
the
going.
distance between
Yeah.
me and male podcast host that I'm listening to
Interesting. Yeah.
and female podcast host that I'm listening to, I mean, maybe I'm a little bit closer to the male or a little bit closer if the male is somebody who's in my age group or somebody who I otherwise identify with, but it's still the gulf between people is so
Yeah.
much greater than the differences between people.
And the
If
gulf
that makes
between
sense.
people, it does. And it's the gulf between people and how the people think. I've found myself fascinated with the difference I've observed in my life, in my relationships, all different kinds of relationships with the men in my life. And I found that they just really don't think the same way. And I feel like I've had to do a lot of like teaching and educating. And there was someone that I was dating who I'm not anymore because I got exhausted with feeling like I need to educate him and invite him to um exercise in the the yin and yang perspective, the masculine feminine perspective, to activate more of his feminine. And I got so tired of being a teacher, and I guess I'm at a place now where I'm just like, you know what, it's just different. And then I get to decide if I want to engage with that vive la différence, if you will.
That is exactly yes. Though loose rigor does not in what we read say that, I said that several times, or at least thought it several times during the discussion, because that is definitely the second wave feminism. Although isn't it mostly men who say that? Oh, vive la
Oh,
différence. In other words, I
wait.
want the hot, the hotness that is not me.
Of course you do, Francois. Of course you do. You know, I love that. I love to have brought you today to the feminist cafe. What do you think of this cafe?
It is all very vaginal. I see
Ah, oui.
the way that the drapes are hanging is
Oh, yeah.
shaped so that there is a the wide the pooch,
Does
the
it make you
opening.
does it make you feel like you are back in the room?
A little bit back in the room. I feel like most of the time I like to write from the point of view peeking out of the room at the strange world, and I like to think of myself as an alien, describing in my my literature all this strange stuff that I see.
one of my favorite things about you when we are doing the sexy intercolors playtime is how you like to describe what is happening. You love to describe my vagine.
I like to describe all the things, and
All of the things,
I like to
everything
emphasize
in
the
that way.
unexpected. So one would expect in the poem about that is titled The Vagine
The
to
vagine.
emphasize the vagine, but instead I emphasize the pillow on which the vagine sits and
Oh,
talk
oui, oui.
about the pillow and the perspective of the pillow, how
How
it would
does
be
the
to
pillow
be
feel
the
to be so
pillow.
close to the pillow that is vagine?
Yes, would you not people say, "Oh, I have such envy of the pillow that can be close to your vagine," but being a pillow, it is a boring thing. You just sit around. You mostly are just puffy.
Mm. Come to me. When you say that, it makes me want to hold you and press you to my breast onto the pillow of my chest. Come here, let me
Oh, the
embrace you.
pillow, maybe not in the public place.
Oh
Maybe
no,
only
oh no.
only we need to go in the back room
But to
where
give
they
a hug, we have to go to the back room to give
see it
hugs.
says on the board embrace. Embrace. That is the embrace room.
Oh,
It is very
wow.
organized. This
See, I would so organized. I would think that as a feminist cafe, you can embrace, you can do whatever you are wanting in this place. And it is it's my turn to apologize. I am sorry, my love.
I had heard maybe the feminist cafe, I should have mentioned this before we came, has been recently bought out
Oh no!
by the people who they wanted the embraces to be in a separate place.
Oh, fools!
The all over there is the canalingus room that is completely that used to just be in
It
the
used to
main
be an open
area.
foyer.
It is, yes. But now it is like the body has been
Shamed.
bisected, trisected, torn
No.
apart.
Off. I do not think I will come to this cafe anymore. It's time for us to go.
All right.
Get
Uh,
your bag.
just after I want to stop at the Conalingus room, just
No, that
very
is okay. I
briefly.
will
Oh,
meet you
okay.
outside. I'll meet
All
you
right.
outside.
All right. That's it. I've subverted. I forgot that you brought me to the cafe, and I'm here. I'm
No.
giving you. I'm mansplaining about the cafe that you brought me to.
It
Calm
was
down.
absolutely fantastic in terms of philosophy. Like, what a beautiful thing that I was like, we can love any way that we want here. And you were like, no, we can't. And I'm like, so again, I love the format that you and Bill have established of this back and forth between philosophical ideas that then inspire an improvised scene, which then yields us more nutrient rich stuff to go off of. So that's cool.
So what we've done two small scenes. Um, Notes, lessons, anything. I know it's hard to have a
Oh no,
lesson plan. We didn't really
no.
establish whether you're going to have an improv
No, we
lesson
just
in
started
mind.
talking today. That's really all we did. Yeah. Interesting. Notes, ideas. Say yes to the thing that makes you uncomfortable. Say yes to the thing that is scary to you because that is the new territory. And coming back to our co-host thing at the top is you're my scene partner. Uh I'm not alone.
I
You
te-
not alone.
a, a,
I'm
a,
here with you.
we have see Bill and I have never tried to sing in harmony over Zoom. I know there's a asynchronicity issue, but you're an actual singer, and I don't know if you I've pressed upon you that I have a long history of the singing.
And you're a baritone or a tenor? Because that was giving
Oh,
tenor.
definitely baritone.
Definitely
Definitely,
baritone. Right. Yeah, yeah.
if not
I'm
actual bass.
whoa. Yeah, I'm a classically trained singer and I did like musicals all my life and I was almost going to
Hmm.
double major in theater and vocal performance. And then I realized that I would never leave a practice room. And so I did a minor in vocal performance. I appreciate you calling me a singer. That's very generous. Yeah, I used to be a first soprano but now I'm like a high alto, I think. I mean, because I'm not trained, right? Like I haven't been doing the regular warm-ups and like regular singing. Like, there's period, end of sentence.
Well, my I've never given the history of my vocal training,
Oh, let me get out my
which
notebook.
was one summer of voice lessons.
One.
So
Oh, it's
so
gonna be a short note. It's gonna be
that was a short note. I was actually I was notable in junior choir for
yeah.
being very loud. That I would oversing,
Oh,
like sometimes the junior choir and the adults would sing together, and my people tell me, "Oh, we can still hear your voice," because I had such good projection. This was age 9,
I was gonna say.
but
So,
then I became a rebel and didn't. I was never in school choir. I played in orchestra, bass, and things, but then I started having bands in high
yeah.
school. So it was like so I took one thing of and I taped the voice lessons. So I did those exercises
Oh,
off the
yes,
same. In
yes.
fact, I've
Mhm.
digitized those files from 1991, something like that, so
From
that
the early 1900s.
I can pull them out if I
Yeah.
want to have the voice of my ancient teacher. But
So
I have not progressed significantly in skill apart from just having to do it at gigs and things, which have been very intermittent.
I cannot of all of the things you said, I'm still stuck on something that you said in the beginning, so I'm not really practicing the best improvisation. However, I'm focusing on the sparkly shiny, and that is the mental picture of 9-year-old Mark, little Mark, with the deepest baritone.
Oh, I don't know that it was. I think it was.
It's just
I
a
think
funny image to me. Don't ruin this for me,
okay. I say yes to that dress.
Mark. No bridezillas here.
Yes, I believe the choir master, who was sort of a friend of the family, he would come over with his family for Christmas Eve
Oh, that's
with us
lovely.
repeatedly. Um, that as soon as I hit puberty and my voice went down, of course, I hadn't been under his tutelage for many years. He was
Tutelage.
completely uninterested, or it was a rift. Let's put it that way. That as a young prepubescent shrieking voice that could add to his choir, that was great. But as someone trying to sing rock and roll in a baritone, no, that was not.
You were no longer, it's kind of again coming back to what we were linking it back to the feminine, masculine, like what is expected. It's like as women age, they become unattractive and
Mm,
uninteresting.
mm. Yeah,
Which
he was
I
like,
was
your
saying that it
voice
makes
not
I
hot,
hate it.
not hot anymore.
Yeah. Yeah, kid. Yeah, kid. Come into my office. Come in, kid. Come in, kid.
Yes,
So we know you're Donnie Starlight. And you've given us some of the best kids bop tracks this agency has ever captured.
I like singing very clean versions of songs that have very filthy words when they're on the regular radio.
Of course, Donnie, help yourself to a lollipop. It's right next to the cigar box. I got you a lollipop box. Help yourself.
Cigar,
No.
cigar, lollipop, cigar, lollipop. Maybe I'll just take the cigar.
Yeah, that's what I was worried about. And that's actually the point of our meeting today.
What
If,
what?
oh, wait a minute. Are you telling me that you're bivocal?
I don't know what you're talking about. I just this is the way I sing. I can do the Michael Jackson covers except with all the hot masculine energy removed from them.
Of course,
Uh
we need a completely void of all masculine energy, completely nude.
when he says
Wait a second,
the girl
Donnie.
is mine, the goddamn girl is mine, and I sing the chair is mine. The gosh darn chair is mine.
That's right.
That
That's
was
great.
one of my
You don't need to
favorites.
audition. You're already my client. Wait a second though. I will be remiss to miss the deep voice that came out of you just now earlier.
Oh, hold on, I gotta check my phone. Yeah, baby, I'll be home at 6.
Oh my god.
Oh my
Yeah,
god.
yes. Sorry, what?
I was about to cut you as a client, but now that I see that you are bivocal, we're gonna get you a world tour, kid. What do you say?
Let's take it all the way around, baby.
Yeah, take the rest of the cigars with you.
All right, that's probably good, good enough progression with that.
So
I don't know
fun.
how fun it is for. So this is
Uh,
here's another thing. I would occasionally, with Bill, try to do a silly voice, and
That was a
it-
great Donnie Starlight. I love him. What a little cutie. But he's like, but you're like 45. That's what I was seeing.
that was not established. Yeah, I don't know if I was
No, we
that
didn't
someone who had
establish it.
far outlived. I think that's a more interesting character, is not somebody who's on the cusp of puberty, but someone who, had the prepubescent voice and just kept trying to fake it for years and years and years and years after
Mhm.
that, which is probably what happened to Michael Jackson. Like
I don't know.
he
I never met
started
him.
as a child and he had that awesome
Sure.
Jackson 5 voice. And at least this was something that was speculated about, is that as he became an adult, like he would just talk in this kind of as an affectation. And if you just catch him unawares, he'd be like, yeah, what? He
Well,
just like that
I
was his
feel
real voice.
I feel like there's a bit of an arrogant expectation of the consumer of music for the artist that someone enjoys to always stay that way. And then like I think it's important to be an acknowledge, not saying that you were arrogant. I'm just talking about because I've been this too. Like, oh man, they're going through a phase, like they're changing. Like, yeah, they're artists and they're humans that are growing and experiencing more things. So the art changes too. But as the person that ingests the media, like we loved the thing that you did, but you are now different. So what you do will also be different.
I just actually, like 2 hours ago, interviewed a singer-songwriter named Eric Anderson, who is 80 years old,
Wow,
something
love
like
it,
that.
love it.
But and in preparation for that, I listened through his whole catalog because he started in like 1965, I think was his first album, where he has a sweet little voice, and
Donnie
now he
Starlight.
sounds like this. And it's actually kind of still nice. Like it's better than I'm doing, but he does sound like the sort of
He's
your hillbilly grandpa who,
yeah,
oh yeah, come on to this down to the
I love it.
riverside. And just hearing that progression was a treat because I
Yeah,
had no stake in the younger version. Like I had
yeah.
heard a song some years ago before I got this interview, but had not, it's not like I put my whole, oh man. I mean, I guess it's not too terribly different than like I will stare at pictures of my phone actually pushes upon me. My
And
iPad
I'm sick of that
pictures of
shit.
my children, pictures of
Oh,
my
not your
children
children.
from when
Sorry.
they were children, and now they are, in their 20s.
Yeah,
And so it's just like it's almost like that person is like I can just call them. But no, that little 4-year
yeah.
old does not exist anymore. I want to hang out with that.
I saw a clip of a little interview Lindsay Lohan did for Freakier Friday, and someone asked her, "Do you miss the good old days?" Like, and her answer was something along the lines of, um, "I think it's a good idea to reminisce, but not to miss."
Sure.
Yeah, because I think in terms of like, getting hard on myself for XYZ and why I'm not this. And like, well, now is it a different time through a pandemic, like through a lot of other challenges, like you are not who you were anymore. I mean, you can change your behaviors and stuff, but my point is to, beyond a wholesome discipline, be gentle with yourself and know that things change with time and the times make us change.
So you're exemplifying, you're getting at a central thing that I wanted to talk about today
I
as
love
our
that I'm there.
first
I love that we're
as
co-hosts.
our first experience of this podcast with you on equal footing as a co-host is, uh, so you're not trained in philosophy, right? Did you ever take a philosophy class in school or anything? Like
No.
okay.
I
But
mean, I
yet,
studied philosophical adjacent things, but
yeah,
I never
like
took
what
a,
literature, science, what?
yeah,
Okay.
both. Yeah. I'm well learned. I have my, when I chose a university to do my theater degree that was a bachelor's program. So I could take like classical mythology and like
Hmm.
searching for the ideal in literature. That was a really cool class. I took a class on dinosaur evolution because I was in the honors program. So I got to access to these. I took one term of Italian and then realized that I wasn't going to retain it and it was more work than it was worth. So I have not, I never took like philosophy 101, but yeah.
So it is my contention that despite that, and even apart from, I'm sure things have filtered to you, like who Plato is or whatever, like,
Yeah, I'm
the
familiar. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah.
general cultural knowledge that people
Sure.
have. Uh, but the fact that you're,
And I've like done my own research. I've like gone down those rabbit holes myself. Yeah.
so
Yeah.
the question is the relationship between that stuff you might have learned in a class and these things that, if you are thinking seriously about your life, will inevitably. So what you were just saying about dealing with the passage of time, which is probably
Mhm.
one of the fundamental things. I just recall myself as a child being like, now I'm done with fifth grade or whatever. And I will never be back in that classroom in fifth grade. Like that was, yeah. Oh, now I'm back from the vacation. I will never be on that vacation with those people
Sure.
in
It's
that
done.
place again. And just
Yes.
thinking like on a, I don't want to say daily, but like a not uncommon basis of just, thinking of the world, that this is, I think
Yeah.
a very primal philosophical
Yeah.
thought. So you are already have been doing
Yeah.
philosophy, even if you've never taken a philosophy class.
Yeah. Yes, the answer is yes. I think it's part of being, I think that's part of being a professional improviser and just an inquisitive person who, like in my home, always surrounded by books, also where I am. This is one of my pet sitting clients' homes, but they have a pretty big house and there are many rooms that I could be in, but I chose to be in the library of the retired art teacher. And it's just so fun. And I'm propped up on, what books am I propped up on? Sculpture, 19th century art, and an Ed Hopper book. So to me, like being surrounded, and it was always, and just before this, I was listening to my favorite radio station, 98.7 WFMT Chicago, even though I'm not in Chicago anymore. So I always surround
Mm.
myself with things that help, things that it's like settling into, I call it the emotional hot tub. Like I feel great surrounded by all of these great thinkers and artists. Like I feel safe and comfortable being inquisitive and surrounded in the stories of passionate people who've passed before me.
So I
I just
guess
took us on a tangent. I didn't mean to, but I was just yesing
no,
myself and going there.
the tangents are how thought works.
Yeah, it is. It's like that
And
it chugs along.
yeah,
Mhm.
I'm very much in favor of that. And it's always then fun to try to hook the tangent back up because,
I think we're doing some fun stitching there of like circling back on things. Yeah.
right, I think when I started this podcast and having put time into philosophy graduate school, I was a
Mm.
little snobby about philosophy, that
Of course.
I would see who else is in the philosophy category. And some of them I would consider actual philosophy, but some of them it's just like what relationship advice, sort of like the manosphere sort of survival podcast, thinking about
Manosphere.
UFOs, the metaphysics section at the bookstore, which is could be, crystals or wellness or any number of things.
Yeah, just
Uh,
put into that
eh,
category. Yeah.
yeah, and I've gotten less. I'm not saying I'm not snobby about, wanting to maybe still finding some of that stuff less interesting, but I'm less particular about what gets called philosophy, because if you
Mhm.
are sort of thinking deeply about stuff, whatever that means to you. It could just be
So is-
religion. It could
so
be then you are at least approaching. You're hitting some edge of what philosophy is.
I was going to say, so then what is the qualification of philosophy? What is the, what is it?
Well, so this might be a kind of thing that there might be a prototypically sort of male female dichotomy on that. I think it's the men, the uptight men, who are insisting no, philosophy is just, in fact, philosophers will disagree
So what
among
then is philosophy then?
themselves. Well, they'll point to certain types of literature and say it's the complete works of Plato, Aristotle, Descartes, Kant. Philosophy is stuff like that. And anything that's not like that, anything that is like, oh, it's a hip hop song reflecting about life, or it is a watercolor, something that is artistic and is trying to, well, okay, I can maybe appreciate that, but that is not philosophy. Philosophy has to be self-reflective about what it is doing. It has to be. Yeah.
So then in that case, then hip hop is absolutely philosophical. Like example A, Kendrick Lamar. He's 100% cognitive of the movements that he is making and the work that he is doing. That just seems silly to like that's such a wide swath of what philosophy is. So I guess okay, so you're saying that one of the pivotal things is it's the philosophizer's awareness of what they're doing.
Well, I should have completed the thought that what they're doing
Philosophers, I'm
as
sorry, wow.
philosophy.
Philosophizers.
Because obviously anybody could be, I'm knitting a gown and I'm very aware that I'm knitting a gown and maybe, but actually even in the knitting the gown, this is a thing that Aristotle and Plato talk about, that having a craft like that is a techne. But if you become aware of like what makes a gown knit, like if you start thinking about the physics of knitting, then you're sort of getting more advanced. Maybe you could do, this is more obvious in like cooking. Yeah. Like there's people that just know how to cook because they've done it a lot, or there's like those like the science of cooking books and shows and whatever. They're like, oh, because of the chemical properties of the yeast, blah, blah, blah. So according to the these philosophers, like the more you can pull back and understand not just the craft of this song that I'm writing, but the craft of what a song is, the craft of why we as human beings need songs. Like there's always room.
I call that going macro, right? You're just panning out. So then, I am a philosopher because I definitely think in that way. Oh,
well, all right. I guess we're done. I guess we have nothing to teach each other.
Right? Wow. I'm so happy that we could be so efficient. And I'm so happy for everyone being able to join in the journey with us. We're going to all save a lot of time.
Well, maybe we should stop teaching each other today because we have more. We're going to have a guest next time. And then we're going to be by ourselves again. Then we're going to have another guest, and who knows what will happen. I do want to invite people, and I haven't pitched this to you before, but we have a Patreon page.
Yeah.
Patreon.com/prettymuchpop. No, that's my other show. Patreon.com/philosophyimprov.
Support both. Why don't you?
And you and I will right now, after we finish this public version, we will continue talking for a little bit, but only the people that pay. It's actually like nothing. You could pay like $1 to sign up for that, but only the people that go to that Patreon page will be able to hear the words that we will be saying to each other 5 minutes from now. This will be over. You could listen to this again and again, but you'll never hear that other stuff unless you're in a different spot.
So at the co-hostery, we're so happy that you joined us. And anyone who'd like to support us in the Patreon, please come back through the curtain in the back of the ballroom. Come on, everybody, take your bags with you. We're not coming back here.
It is labeled cunnilingus.
Oh, so much world colliding. Smash, crash, blam.
I should sell my soul.